Hello everyone and welcome to the Dick Campbell Gym for some girls Thanksgiving turkey basketball where the York Dukes, who are 2-0 in this tournament, are taking on the Butler College Prep Bobcats. And this is a great matchup, Griffin. Two teams who are hungry to make an impact in this tournament. Butler coming in 1-1 off a big blowout win. And Griffin, what can you tell us about both of these teams?
York is a very well-rounded program, and Butler definitely has their work cut out for them. Trying to beat them to winning for Butler is through Ziana Walton. Led the team in scoring on Tuesday night in their blowout win. She's a do-it-all power forward, stretch big, really just a coach's favorite player out there on the court. Can do it all. Kind of looking like a Brianna Stewart type player out there. She's big, she can shoot, she can really do it all, and I think going through her to run the offense is the key to winning.
Absolutely, Griffin. And, you know, this is a very high anticipated matchup. Both coaching staffs out there to give their teams little pep talks. Band's here tonight to Friday night chills. You know, York's got a big football game this weekend. Some good energy for sure. And York looking to stay with that undefeated season. But this is going to be a tough matchup. This should be a big test for them. But shorthanded bench for Butler and for the Dukes, of course, tonight, as Kate Carter is actually hurt tonight, as O'Brien will kick it to Kehoe, and the Dukes have won the tip-off. Filosa, the only senior that is in right now, who's going to draw contact and miss the leg, the Bobcats. But stolen back by the Dukes as O'Brien now, coast to coast, lays it up, way off the mark. Bobcats will take it back up. There's a turnover.
Sloppy game here to start. A lot of looking to turn that around right here.
Solkaitis takes it in the middle. Now goes to the rim. Via Solkaitis with a nice start to the game as she'll go to the charity stripe for a free throw.
This matchup is definitely one to watch. Both leading scorers for their team facing off each other, going between Olivia Solkaitis and Ziana Walton. Whoever wins this matchup might decide who wins the game.
And Solkaitis is having to step up a lot this season as of this far. One of the only upperclassmen on this team. It's hard to say that. I believe that's true because Dukes were so senior heavy. But Anna Filosa and Gabby Sutter, the only rostered seniors on this team's roster this year.
Like you said, this Dukes team is very youthful, so winning this tournament is a bright side for the future.
Dukes come out in a 1-2-2 trap that the York boys play. So both teams this year will be playing this as of thus far, as Wellington has it. Now kicks it back to Conway. Makes a great move on Kehoe. Pulls up off the mark. They're there to retain the possession on the boards. Wellington, that's a three. High down. Wellington, the freshman, nothing but net. O'Brien down to Solkaitis. Now back to O'Brien. Driving the lane with her left hand, throws it up with her right, draws the foul. She'll head to the.
As you mentioned earlier, both the boys and girls program run a 1-2-2 defense. This defense prioritizes moving when the ball moves, closing out. As many of the coaches say, if the ball moves, you move too, and if not, you're running it wrong.
Exactly. My freshman year, I remember playing a lot of hard work in practice. If we weren't doing the rotations the right way, if the ball goes up to the top right, person on the bottom right's got to shift up. Lots of different movements going on. That's something that the York program really hangs their head on high, how they play that defense, almost like a matchup zone that Syracuse runs. Conwell will take it over the timeline. O'Brien pressuring, ball's tipped. Conwell stays with her dribble. They got numbers. Thought about the three, now back to Wellington. Well, three ball. Off the mark. And Wellington trying to fight for it, but Conwell's going to pick it up, dish it to the corner. Three ball is up. So we'll grab the rebound. Filosa, wide open. Three ball, got it. And a Filosa. The senior stepping up for three. 7-3, Dukes lead. Driving, floating, and connecting. That's going to be number, I'm sorry, I cannot catch her jersey here, Griffin. I still don't know who it is. That's going to be off the mark for Larma. So Kaitis there to foul. Second time, no good. And here come the Bob. Driving and connecting is Wellington, the freshman, once again. Forced to be reckoned with, Griffin. O'Brien down low, floats it. Off the mark, so Kaitis there. She's going to now draw a shot. Walton dishes it up the court, and that's going to be a charge taken by Anna Filosa.
There, stepping in, put her body on the line, taking the charge there for the team.
Filosa's had a hard start to the year. She went 0 for 12 in her first game of the tournament. Had another rough night scoring 2 nights ago, but with a 3-ball. And now a charge, so definitely playing within her own offense as she has it here. She's going to kick it to Larma. Jay is right up and through. Anna Filosa connects, and the Dukes will show press. Great defense from O'Brien, forces the turnover from the young freshman, Wellington.
That's just one of the many bright sides of running this full court press that earlier both defenses create as many turnovers as possible, which sometimes helps, but you can get burned on the backhand.
Maggie McCuckey in, as here's a 3-ball in the Avery Larma, and that's going to be off the mark. Ball up top, a little long, and so Kaitis will be there for the rebound. Now Filosa running the floor. Pull up Jay. That's a deep 3 off the mark. Larma is able to retain possession. Now Filosa drives to the cup. Draws the foul and no good on the jumper, so she'll go to the line for 2.
Each team here are very different as Dukes are prioritizing getting down low, getting in the paint, and setting up that post work so that way they get the game. Well, Butler is just 3 and D right now, just trying to get an early lead and push tempo.
Absolutely down the floor as fast as possible as the first shot will go down for Filosa.
One reason Butler does that is if your opponent is running a zone, if you score in transition as possible, there's no chance for them to set up their zone, resulting in some easy points.
So 11-7, Duke's off to an early lead and bringing press as Wellington's trying to break it. She's going to get it over the timeline eventually, and ball down low for the Bobcats. And that ball saved by Conwell. Now Filosa picks it up. Filosa coast to coast, jump stop, lays it up, no good. McCuckey there for the foul, and the ball will belong back to the Dukes.
Pretty clean game so far. That's one of the few fouls called early in this first quarter. Is this way.
Here's a steal by Wellington. Wellington drives, puts it up, got it, plus the foul. The free with her 7th point of the game and a chance to make it 8 as she goes to the charity stripe for an extra.
Here, seen from the Butler's head coach earlier in the tournament, is on free throws, he pulls all of his players back onto their own defense, avoiding the risk of trying to go for an offensive rebound and just setting up their zone right away.
Yeah, interesting. Not much at all at any level of basketball, but maybe he really just trusts Wellington at the line. That's another thing, too. Can you count on her to get it? Because the free throws, it's got to be a little weird not having anyone there. But that one was half down. Filosa calling for it, wide open. She gets it, pops it. And Conwell is there for the rebound. Passes it all the way down the floor with her left hand. Here's an open 3. Aaron retains possession for the Dukes. Running the floor. And she's going to get fouled, so that's going to be the 5th foul against the Bobcats, and this is going to be here early.
One thing to me is very interesting is that there's constant switching in Butler's defense from running a 2-3 and very limited communication there, as we saw Filosa getting an open 3 because their players didn't know what defense they're running. Very Butler's head coach to constantly be switching between the defenses.
First one is through for O'Brien. You know, the Duke's roster compared to last year, lots of juniors on here. A lot of sophomores. No freshmen, but 2 seniors. And this is a big challenge. Fill that gap that they had last year. And right now they're sitting at 2-0. So a great start to the season as that one's going to be thrown out of bounds. And, you know, arguably the biggest challenge of the year here, the Bobcats.
Duke starting 2-0 in this tournament is a good sign for their future, as like you said, it's a lot of juniors. So win here would solidify that they're going to be a powerhouse in the near future.
Exactly, and it would punch their ticket to the championship. Great momentum boost to the season as McQuade moving up and down low. So 2-3 zone approach out of the Bobcats, and here's a steal, but Filosa half down, but that's going to roll out. Maybe so O'Brien getting pulls up, no good. And so Kite is there for the board. Larma over to Filosa. Down low to Larma, great pass. He finds Sulkitis. Going to be a jump ball. And it's going to go back to the Bobcats as they will make a sub. Kehoe and Callahan will pull Sulkitis and O'Brien.
With these substitutions, it looks like the Dukes are trying to stretch the floor out, adding a couple 3-point. Callahan and Kehoe coming in. Let's see what their new offensive attack looks like now.
Bobcats breaking the press. Get it across the timeline. And Conwell over to Wellington. Now back to Conwell. Up top finds Kehoe stepping up on defense, really playing that #1 position on the one. 24 seconds remain. Duke's up 4. This is a deep 3, but Kehoe blocks it. It's going to fall short to McQuade. And Filosa now to bring it up. Finds Kehoe in the corner. Back to McQuade. Callahan now has it now. For Larma. That's going to be picked by Conwell, seeing that before it happened. As she's running the floor, pull up Dre. It's going to be short, and Filosa trying to get it, but it's going to be ripped through. Ball's on the floor. Cats seem to have it. Did they get the timeout, or is it going to be a jump ball? It's going to be a jump ball and go back to the Dukes.
Great job there by Williams. Get that rebound. Although resulting in the jump ball, showed off that aggression and want for the ball.
Love to see that when you put your body on the line. You were talking about it earlier. That's definitely momentum kind of thing. It shows how bad you want it. Wants the 3. Just going to kick it back to Callahan. McQuade calling for it. Pump fakes, drives baseline. Nothing's there, so they'll reset. Down low to Sulkitis, who's going to make a great move. Uses her body, draws the contact. Gets a bad line. 24 seconds remaining here as Wellington and Conwell trying to break the press. This is getting close to a violation, but they eventually get it over.
Sulkitis is one of the few paint beast for the Dukes right now. Offensively, she's scoring almost all her points in the paint, unlike any other of her teammates.
Wellington, 2 seconds. It's got to launch. That's deep. Off the mark from number 11, Zina Walton. The first quarter, 15-9, all Dukes. Don't go anywhere. Turkey basketball coming your way. You're watching York Sports Network. Hello, everyone, and welcome back from the first half action. I'm Christian McQuade. Alongside me, Griffin Hanna. And Griffin, what has York done to establish this early lead?
York has done a great job on the offensive side of ball, being very selective with the shots they're taking and making sure all their shots count. Right now, I'm seeing Butler take a couple shots or just are way too contested, even have a shot going in. Well, York is taking their time, moving the ball around.
They're going to tee up. Sorry to interrupt you, Griffin. Butler head coach is going to get teed up as he's yelling at the York coach. I'm not sure why. He's yelling at the York coach. I have no idea what's going on. He's really having a hard time with the refs. And he's going to Losa at the line.
It's oddly directed only at York's head coach, not at any of the players nor the refs. Just coach, and Filosa misses that first technical free throw.
Yeah, so what happened was that the head coach heard that the York head coach said, good defense, and the Butler coach is like, that's a foul, that's not good defense. So just a miscommunication. But on that free throw, the whole sideline of the Butler bench, even the head coach was making noise during Filosa's free throw. And coach of the York Dukes is going to call a 30-second, talk things over with this team and calm down the tempo a little. Just, what's the word here? Just a little bit of tension in the gym, and they're going to talk it over. Don't go anywhere. Turkey basketball. Welcome back from the quick 30-second timeout. 16-9, it's been all Dukes as they have the ball up top. Filosa over to Kehoe, the top of the key. Filosa over to O'Brien, who's open in the middle, kicks it out. Open look from Kehoe, that's going to be an air ball. Back up. Kehoe back over to Callahan. So just a simple 5-out look here. Nothing really special.
It's here. O'Brien misses there, but one thing I find interesting is Butler is very ready to collapse on the ball if it gets into the paint. It'll get so many open threes.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a foul there, and I'm sure that could be based off what just happened. It didn't really look too bad because they've been letting them play all game. I think they're going to start trying to call more things, play as much as before. Got to make sure people don't get hurt, you know what I'm saying?
Always good to see the refs play, let them play, but you got to draw the line at it just begins a foul fest out there.
It's a good way to put it, foul fest. As Kehoe will pick this one off. Butler's really starting to seem like they're running out of gas a little bit. Been playing most of the 5 same girls. Kicks it over to Callahan, over to Filosa, and that is great ball movement. She's going to knock it down. 19-9, Duke's up 10 now. Conwell up top. Walton drives, lays, and connects. Nice little move there from Walton.
Butler looking to run this fluid 3-2 or 2-3 defense. It's somewhat of a man, but constant switching even without screens. Very unique, and it doesn't seem to be working, just or keep getting wide open threes.
There's Filosa for 3. She misses it, but fouls her own shot. And is going to miss the floater after. Now trying to push it in transition. and she's going to get fouled by Callahan. So they're certainly starting to call more tic-tac-y kind of things now.
Yes, they are. Very interesting is Butler's inability to do the little things compared to how York focuses on it. Right now, Butler is just boxing out on defense. York is getting offensive rebounds, and on offense, there's no communication from Butler compared to York, where it's just talk between players. And I just think that goes to show program traditions and program values.
As Wellington knocks another one down. She's up to 10 points. 14, and she has been a force to be reckoned with as Sulkaitis for three. Nothing but net. 22-14, back and forth here. Wellington drives. No good. Sulkaitis looking for the charge. She's not going to now. They got numbers. Is she going to slow it down or go? She's going to draw the foul on the ground.
One thing very interesting that all of Butler's 14 points are coming from two players and two players only. They're coming from Ziana Walton and Kermincia Wellington, which is very interesting compared to how York is spreading the love around, each player having so far.
That's a good way to put it. Definitely a lot more balanced out of York compared to Butler. As here's a Losa, it's going to be short. Kehoe there to pick it back up, and she's going to get blocked by Walton, and that's going to go off of the Duke. So 22-14 as Paige Byrne will check in for Anna Filosa. Sophomore and junior look now. This is the lineup you're going to see most likely next year. The starters, essentially. Not the most important players on that next team. Wellington trapped over to Wives and just going to throw it out of bounds. She thought there was someone there in the corner of her eye, but no one there to pick up her mistake. So York still up 8 with 4 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in this first half, and they have really been done. Honest, Griffin.
Once again, the turnover there just highlights Butler's non-communication on the defensive side or offensive side there as they threw it out.
So Kaitis got the basket there. She's really having herself a great game with 10 of the Dukes 24. So the main scorer for Dukes as Wellington launches a deep three. Paige Byrne there to pop. So Brian now running the show, trying to push the pace, drives, kicks to Kehoe. Over to Byrne. Byrne over to Sulkaitis. Sulkaitis is going to get fouled. Can she get the basket too? She can! Olivia Sulkaitis, basket and the foul. With a chance to make it a three-point play.
That offensive possession there is just the epitome of this York Dukes offense. No player holding it for more than maybe 3 seconds, more than maybe 2 or 3 dribbles. Just moving the ball around, waiting for an open shot, and Sulkaitis taking hers and getting the and one.
Sulkaitis here early as she will knock down the free throw on top of that. It's been all Dukes. So Wellington is one of those players as Byrne comes up with a steal. Conwell there to pick it back up. She's going to launch it down the court and finds why. They're just going to reset the offense, trying to go tempo. Pull-up J is going to be short. And Olivia Sulkaitis there for the rebound. Ryan driving, kicking. Filosa trying to create something. Great defense by Conwell. Great cut from O'Brien, and she's a little too far off the rim. Walton down the floor. Conwell, Wellington. Brian's to be whistled for her second foul of the game. Or excuse me, her third foul of the game.
Subbing in probably for O'Brien with the high foul total here in the second quarter, trying to preserve her for later in the game.
Conwell over to Walton. Filosa going for the steal. Will be the Duke's 5th. This will send the Bobcats to the line. So now Griffin a chance to get points on the board without taking any time. situation for the Bobcats. They got to find a way to get some points besides Walton and Wellington.
If Butler wants the game, they have to live at the free throw line in these last 2 minutes and 40 seconds of this first half, as these are free points. Time coming off the clock. They got to capitalize as Walton misses there.
She made the first, misses the second. 2 minutes and 13. Velosa at the top. Over to Byrne. Over to Van Huklum. Velosa, that's a deep three. Allen is going to grab the rebound. And that's going to be a little bit of a miscommunication as Callahan's just going to pick it up. Floating 29-15. And the York Dukes still dominating, not going away yet. Here's a deep ball. Somehow able to corral it. Wellington locked up by Callahan. Walton over to the corner, back to Wellington, looking for her shot, but she's going to be trapped right away once again. Over to three, off the mark. Walton there for the rebound, puts it up. Just going to be on the ground, so she will go get 2 free throws with that.
Once again, Butler's head coach calling the rest of his players over for a little mini time. Walton's free throws, very unique thing, not seen from many other coaches. And I don't know about that decision when trying to come back in this game. Be crucial to begin and mount a comeback.
So Kitis and Larma will check in for Van Huklum and Byrne. And absolutely, Griffin, I do think that there's a strategy to that, but I also think that in a situation when you're down 14 and need some momentum going into the half especially, I'm not sure that's his players, and he knows they can get back into this game, but they're going to be set up in the zone, and they need some momentum. 2-3 full court trap. Rare look, and here it is. That's why they were back in that set, and you see the strategy play out. It's Wellington floating. Not there. Walton's there to foul it up, and she's going to put it in a point ball game and possibly some momentum turning back over to the Bobcats.
Walton really coming alive here and late in this first half. Now night and many rebounds to go with it.
Velosa directing traffic up top. 58 seconds remain in the first half. Larma down low to Silkitis. Back out, Larma off the mark. Silkitis there, keeping the possession alive, but it's going to be poked off a Butler leg, and it will stay here. 41.
It looks like the Dukes just want the ball more right now. Getting offensive rebound after offensive rebound, and the Butler players look in, and I think that's what allowing York to build this 11-point lead.
Velosa working on her defender now. 30 seconds. That's a deep three from Makuki, and it's going to be an air ball. And 27 seconds remaining for the Bobcats to get one final basket here before the end of the half. They're going to take their time as they will finally get a travel on Conwell. I thought she kept her pivot foot down, but it's close enough, and they're going to give it a travel.
Resulting in the travel.
So Kitis for Makuki. She's going to get it back. Fading. 9 seconds for them to go. Walton running the floor. 7 seconds. She's got to find somebody. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. Here's a corner three at the buzzer. Can they get it off? It's a floater and no good, but so the Bobcats will go to the line with a chance to cut it into single digits before the end of the half. That's Larma's second, so she's going to have to be careful now going into the locker room.
Great job there by the small but mighty driving in on the bigger York defender, having their entire defense almost collapse on her and still getting the shot up and drawing the foul.
Absolutely, as the first one's up and good. The second one's going to be off the mark, and that's going to I'm Christian McQuade, alongside me, Griffin Hanna. Don't go anywhere. We got the second half coming up. You're watching York Sports Network. Hello, everyone, and welcome back for some second half action where York looks to punch their ticket to the Thanksgiving Tournament Championship, whereas Butler fighting for that tie, for that statement I just made. I don't really feel like saying it again. So Kitus comes out of the half, spins and lays it in. Beautiful move.
Of half, the Dukes are still running that 1-2-2 press. Let's see if Butler has any answers after the half.
So 31-19, and going to the line, the Samaya Williams, the freshman, or excuse me, the senior.
Once again, all of are going to the back court.
First one's up and good.
Butler's players all in the back court, setting up their defense right now in a little mini huddle.
As the first two were down, but the last one will not be good. Over to Filosa, driving coast to coast, gets the ball stolen, and now Walton over to Williams. Too much. Callahan's there, but she's going to get fouled.
The amount of subs are very interesting as well, as one does come in for Butler here, but I believe Samaya Williams is the only player to be subbed out of the starting lineup so far, compared to York, how almost every player has gotten minutes so far.
So Kitus driving to the 10. She'll go to the charity stripe for two. And if Butler wants to get back in this game, they're really going to have to find a way to get Wellington going. But she had most of those points at the beginning of the first quarter, knocked down a 3 at the end, but she's got to be the driving force as much as she's done her best, but they're really going to have like around 20 to 25 points if they want a chance in this ball game, Griffin.
Butler's got to score in transition, prevent the Dukes from setting up their press defense, not let the Dukes score because the ball is still live. Then doesn't give them an opportunity to set up their zone defense. So this
Wellington gets her pocket picked, but Howell stays with it. Over to Wellington, that's a 3. Off the back of the glass, Walton there in the paint. She's gonna get fouled, but they're gonna call a jump ball, and it will stay here with the Lynx, not the Bobcats. Interesting out of bounds play. They all kind of just ran in a circle and looked for the open. Shots blocked, and Conwell's there for the putback, and back to single digits, 32-23.
One of the few times have let an offensive rebound get to the Bobcats here. Most of the time, the Dukes are the one offensive boards. But this time, Butler getting the best of them.
Callahan goes to the 10, misses the layup, and Conwell possession. Lynx trying to get across the timeline. They will. Great move by Conwell. Kicks it. Open 3. Wellington said she's going to drive. Puts up a mark. And O'Brien there to take it away. They got numbers. 5 on 4 as Walton's way back behind. O'Brien going to the hoop. Kicks it out to Filosa. She's just going to reset the offense. Now driving. Creating space. And she's going to miss the shot. Walton with the rebound. Now position. O'Brien's going to be whistled for her 4th foul of the game. Or excuse me. Still's got to be careful. And the Lynx are going to call a full timeout. They're going to calm down the tempo, slow things down, and talk it over. We're going to step aside for a quick break. I'm Christian McQuade. Alongside me, Griffin Hanna. More action coming your way. Hello everyone and welcome back from the short break. 32-23, Dukes lead. Lynx with the ball at the top. 28 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. Great move to the cup by Walton. She's going to leave it long. And Kehoe now moving it down the floor. Kicking, driving, kicking. Larma, 3-ball. No good. That was actually Callahan, excuse me. Got the shot they wanted. And now Larma will check in for O'Brien. That was a good look, though.
Was a good look, and the Dukes have been a great job so far finding their shot, always getting an open 3 from either Filosa or Callahan, or getting it down low with Silkaitis and Larma.
Dukes will get the ball back here as Filosa will pass it in. Just going to find Kehoe instead. Over to Larma. Look as Wellington will steal it. Now she's got numbers coast to coast, lays it up. And Anna Filosa is going to take her second charge of the game. Wow, that was a much needed charge as Wellington was going down the court with lots of momentum, looking to score. Filosa with the better play, though.
Coach Collings, definitely got to love to see that from one of her senior leaders, taking her second charge of the game on the line for the team.
Callahan in trouble. It's by defender, but they're going to get an offensive foul. So an offensive foul on Butler and then an offensive foul on the Dukes, going both ways.
Look to be flaring on the Butler sideline, calling for that 3-second violation there on the Dukes. Eventually getting it, though.
Step back 3, Walton, that's going to hit the top of the hoop. Maybe a little ill-advised there.
Right now, I think Butler just has to get it in the paint, go through the net. Right now, they're forcing up some bad threes, taking ill-advised step backs, and their coach is obviously frustrated with the shots left out here. And I think the key to getting back in this game is just going back to the basics, getting down low, getting layups and easy twos, spreading out the offense, and seeing the ball going through the net just to regain some momentum.
Well said, Griffin. And with that, we're going to 15 seconds. Don't go anywhere. York Sports Network here. Callahan to bring it up here. Out of the quick timeout, Duke still up 9. 32-3, your score. Oh, trying to find someone. She's going to get it over to Callahan. Three ball, and oh, good. And Conwell all the way down the court. Layup. It's going to be number 15. The sophomore, Mia McGee, cuts the lead down to 7. Hand kicking, Kehoe driving, floating and gets fouled. She'll go to the charity stripe for 2.
Neither team coming out too hot to start this second half. Dukes retaining their lead, but no growth to it. Let's see if the Dukes can turn it around here.
First one is up and no good. Kehoe not able. Man, the Butler fans making some noise in this gym. Crowd's getting into it as Kehoe rebounded by the Lynx. Conwell driving on Silkaitis. Wellington looking. It's picked off by Larma. Lynx will stay with it. Conwell's going to dribble it off of Kehoe's foot. It will stay here. Conwell trying to escape off Kehoe. She will. Kicking it. Wellington. Ball's on the ground. Filosa diving for it. Wellington by Pelosa and Larma, and this will stay with the Dukes. So 4 fouls on Butler. One more is going to put the Dukes.
Both teams racking up the fouls early in this second half. This third quarter, just under both teams with over 3 fouls. Let's see if either team gets into the bonus before the end of the quarter.
Van Huklum, a push tempo. Larma pump fakes the 3. Over to Kehoe. Kehoe goes up strong, and is going to get fouled 2. First one is up and in for Kehoe. Now O'Brien will pull Callahan, and lead is back up to 8. Second one is up and through. Ali Kehoe goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe, and the Dukes' lead is back up to 9 with 10 seconds remaining in total. They get it across the timeline barely. Walton being trapped by Van Huklum. Great defense. Walton off the, and that's another charge. Walton elbowed Silkaitis, and she was in there to take it for the team. Olivia Silkaitis is present with 16 points. It's almost half of the Dukes' points. And now another charge taken. And that's the 3rd charge that the Dukes have taken tonight. A very aggressive game.
It's definitely one of the team leaders, controlling the defense as she's one of the main focal points, locking down the paint for her team, also contributing on the offense so far in this tournament.
Dukes moving the ball around the horn. O'Brien driving, kicking. Van Huklum in the corner. Pelosa up top. Back to O'Brien. Penetrating. Now Pelosa baseline. Up and up. Set finds an open Kehoe, making the extra pass, and that's exactly what you wanted if you're the Dukes. A great possession, great ball movement, and a great layup to finish it off.
You said there, what great ball movement from the Dukes offense. Pelosa had the up and under layup, but choosing to pass it to her teammate for Kehoe for even a better low. How much more of a team the Dukes are than Butler, who appear to be playing more as just a group of 5 rather than a team.
Group of 3 there, and couldn't come away with it. Great pass from O'Brien. Oh, low. Kehoe is going to smoke the layup, and the ball will belong back to the Lynx. So 11-point game, Griffin. Lynx need to find something. What player do they got to get the ball to more?
I think you got to shy away from shooting these threes and get the ball down low. Ziana Walton, like they did just there.
And they do get it down the paint to number 10. That's going to be Tiona Hart here. She will head to the charity stripe for 2. An opportunity to put points on the board. Out the clock running, Griffin. And these are the chances of. So the first one's up and through.
Now having 2 rebounders join the Dukes, trying to come back in this game with offensive rebounds.
So the second one is through, and now timeout by the Dukes, and we'll step aside for a quick timeout. It's going to be a full. Don't go anywhere. York Sports Network coming back. Hello everyone and welcome back from the short here for York with a minute remaining in the third quarter. Butler looking for that final push here going into the fourth quarter, but still time left in the third. Burn over to Filosa. And Huklum wide open. She's going to try to go to the rim, making a move, throwing it up, and she's going to draw the foul. Amelie Van Huklum to go to the line for two.
Butler came out in a 2-1-2 press there at the start of this offensive possession for the Dukes, but it didn't seem like they were just putting a couple bodies up court to apply a little pressure at the up court, but they just allowed the Dukes to get across the half court line. And the whole reason to do a press is to make sure they don't get the ball across half court and draw that 8-second violation.
Is up and through. Amelie Van Huklum 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. 38 seconds remain. Wellington over to Walton. Looking for her shot. Walton penetrating the middle. Over to Wellington. That's a deep three. O'Brien pokes it away, and that's going to go out of bounds. It's going to belong back to the Lynx.
Great job there by O'Brien to get her hands on the ball, although applying pressure to these Butler ball handlers is key.
That was just a low-wire pass, and a Lynx player just gets put on the deck. And that's going to be just a foul against the Lynx, number 10.
Also appears to be Harding also appears to be a little shaken up after that play. Player safety.
I'm not sure she's hurt. I think she's just trying to get things calmed down out there. Will knock down the first. Olivia Sokaitis now at 17 on the night. Stepping up. It's one of the leaders here this season. Second one is up and through. 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. And Walton, the center, taking it up. Over to Wellington. And Filosa looking for the pickoff, but shot the buzzer is way off from Walton as she just walks right back to the bench. Just a lot of mixed emotions on the Butler sideline. They're going to have to figure things out. 40-27, all York Dukes. Don't go anywhere. All for the final quarter where York looks to punch their ticket to the finals. You're watching York Sports Network. Hello everyone and welcome back. Fourth quarter action, O'Brien taking it up. Over to Filosa. That's just going to be tipped out of bounds and stay here with the Dukes.
The difference in sidelines, too, just highlights the contrast in each. Already hearing yelling from Butler's bench, even though they just came out of a timeout. It almost seems like it didn't happen. Well, York's bench is staying cool and collected.
Walton makes a great pass, but no Lynx is there to finish it, and it will go back to the Dukes as here's a corner three from Callahan. Lynx looking to push in transition. Wellington over to Walton. Walton loses it, now stays with it. And loose ball, Keogh's just gonna steal it. 7 minutes remaining. And just an off mark pass out of O'Brien there. The Butler coach just starting to show his emotions a lot to his players. He's being hard on them because he knows how much potential they have. It's Walton, pump fakes, drives baseline, lays it up, and that's going to be off the mark. O'Brien gets put to the deck, and Walton was not having it. She just walked right over O'Brien like Allen Iverson to Tyronn Lue.
Foul. Walton knowing that she messed up and not even contesting the call there.
O'Brien breaking the press, driving all the way to the lane, lays it up and no good. There to pick it back up and looking to push in transition. Great pass down low, and he's missed the easy layup. That's another smoked layup. Butler is missing easy shots.
The way Butler's played between this game and their game on Tuesday is so polarized, shocks me. They put up almost 70 points on Tuesday night, and they haven't even broken 30 points in the fourth.
Wellington with the block.
That's less than half the points that they put up on. I know the Dukes are a much different opponent than Oswego East, but you still expect some similar dominance from the rest of the way.
You know, Oswego East, they played a very nice game tonight. I was watching it before this. That nice win against Glenbrook South, who's a great team. A lot of teams in this tournament, very evenly matched, and it really just shows you when, you know, a team like Butler, who dropped a good amount of points on us, the Dukes, just shows you how level each team is. As Sokaitis will knock down the first, and now she will hit 19, so with this second free throw, she can make herself a 14. Butler fans making some noise, and she will get to 20 on the night. Olivia Sokaitis.
The Dukes now looking immune to the Butler crowd after going to the charity stripe a couple times, getting used to the noise.
I would say, I'm going to make some noise. When we play basketball, he says that a lot. Cyrus Colson, he's a 7-foot, on O'Brien, that's her fourth, and Larmer will check back in.
Both offenses run a motion offense with no set plays, but the Dukes have just been having the Butler defense collapse in on them, as that's a steal from Butler.
Wellington, coast to coast, lays it up, plus the foul. Wellington just staying poised as a freshman in a tough environment where things really haven't. She steps up and trying to give Butler one last run. They've been kind of waiting to make that run all night, and could this create the momentum to do it, Griffin?
It maybe could, but Butler once again choosing to not have any rebounders join the Dukes in the paint. So if Wellington misses here, which she does not, she hits it.
Showing press now. So Kitis, that's a deep three in the corner. Off the mark. McQuade. Out to Filosa, driving. Not connecting on the layup. That was a great move. As Keogh there for the second chance points. Over about the three. Dribbling around. Over to Callahan. Just back to that 5-out look. Long possession. Butler head coach really putting it on his team as Wellington for the board. Walton, she's going to foul Sulkaitis as she will head to the line for another trip to the charity stripe. Olivia Sulkaitis.
Got a total of 3 offensive rebounds there, and that's a coach's worst nightmare. I mean, allowing not when you allow 1 offensive rebound, let alone 3 within the same possession. I mean, Butler is just digging themselves their own grave at this. If they want a chance at making this comeback, they got to start doing the little stuff and got to start doing it now.
And so, second. Wellington back over to Conwell. Finally get it across the timeline, and they need points. Every trip from now on, they're going to have to find a way to get some points as Conwell just floats it up. No good. She's going to save her own shot. Walton for the second chance points, but no. Callahan over to Kehoe. Filosa wide open in the corner, looking for her shot. Kicks it out. Makuki back over to Sulkaitis, and she is going to be stopped by a head coach for a timeout. 30 seconds, and we're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. York Sports Network. Back to Filosa up top with it. Sulkaitis missed, and here come the Lynx. Coast to coast, Walton lays it up, and that's going to be a block on Filosa. Almost got her 3rd charge of the night. That would have been.
Although called for the block, great job there by Filosa to get it, to even try to go charge there. Walton was coming down court, full head of steam from getting the rebound, going coast to coast, a lot of speed, a lot of power, and Filosa right in front of her own self.
And for Filosa, she's got 11 points tonight. About how much she's really impacted this game. 11 points, it's a good night by itself, but on top of that, lots of assists, lots of she's taking. So overall, great performance as Kehoe rips this one away from the Lynx all the way down the floor and misses another one. She's had a hard time with the short. It's there for the follow-up, no good, and Walton trying to run the floor all the way to the cup, kicks it, Wellington, and she's gonna make it. 10-point game, 3 minutes remaining. Looking for that final push are the Lynx. Callahan driving and no foul. Once again, down the floor. Here come the Lynx. Layup is up and missed once again. Just another bunny layup. The fans of the Lynx just can't believe their eyes. Every time they seem to have something going in an open look, they'll come away with it.
If Butler was able to hit almost half of their missed transition layups, this would be a completely different game. 11. This could be almost, Butler could honestly have the lead compared to the wide open shots they've missed and how many compared to.
Absolutely, Griffin. Couldn't have said it any better myself. And with that, we're going to step aside. 30-second timeout. We'll be back in a minute. Break, 3 minutes remaining. Butler saying, we haven't gone away yet, Griffin. Put them away. Velosa drives, great move. Up to 13 on the night, and 12-point lead now for the Dukes. Conwell driving through a bunch of defenders. Gets blocked by Olivia Solkaitis, really making a mark on this game.
Olivia Solkaitis closing the window of opportunity there with that block. Butler that they are not making a comeback through the paint.
Velosa, she's going to reset the offense here, try to take as much time off the clock and get a good shot. It's what you want. McQuade over to Kehoe. Her defender. O'Brien trying to do something. Starting to lose it. Middle to Kehoe. Kehoe, eyes down the court. She's got Solkaitis. Corner three, McQuade, no. She's trying to make that extra pass with the Dukes. They're going to carry on O'Brien. And Callahan and Van Hukelum will pull Kehoe and McQuade out.
Almost in a 2-clock offense, not necessarily denying all shot options, but just waiting until they get the best one possible, either that being a wide in the paint.
Wellington, Velosa on her. Trapped in the corner is Walton. Van Hukelum.
Butler with a very unique inbound play here as just the players kind of flare out, hoping one.
Yeah, just a lot of nonsense going on. And Caldwell will go to the line for two. So 2 shots. Trying to get that lead back into single digits. Right here they can get it back to 10, knocking down 2. That would be huge. 2 minutes remaining. Anything could happen. She's going to miss the first. Bonus in high school is you're guaranteed 2.
Oh, okay.
A lot different than how they change it for this, but kind of makes sense. You only get 8 minutes to play in the quarter compared to college basketball where it's 20 and 2, so 4 minutes extra time.
Press finally actually placing some pressure on the Dukes.
It's actually doing something here. Kehoe struggling to get across, and that's a 10-second violation. He's got to be loving the effort of his team there.
One of the few times we've seen his press actually work, as most there's little pressure applied to the backcourt of the Dukes, but right there, great job by Butler to trap them and not allow them to cross half court.
Velosa they finally get it across after that 10-second vio. It was actually whistled back, but Kehoe now has it in the corner, 1:30 remaining, just trying to hold it out. Pressure. Velosa just weaving through the defense all by herself. Over to Van Hukelum. Bodied by Walton, and she'll go to the line. Actually, they will not go to the line. Only 4 fouls, not 5.
Next foul, the Dukes will be going to the line as now they're put into the bonus with that one. Both teams now win and who they foul as they'll be sent to the free throw line.
Velosa gets open and a great pass. 47-34, 1 minute remaining. Wilson over to Wellington. They need to get a shot up. Here's the 3 ball, looks off, and it will be as Velosa will regather the rebound. 53 seconds. They're pressing, and that's a turnover from Anna Velosa. Great defense from the Bobcats.
Let's see if the Bobcats capitalize on this turnover. Points out of here as their window of opportunity closes as the Butler head coach calls a timeout here, just trying to tell his girls that they got to, if they're going to come back, it's going to start now.
They got 50 seconds to come back, and with that, we're going to step aside. Quick break. You're watching York Sports Network. Ball is in, and Caldwell, nothing there. Coach wants a foul. He's got to keep his tempo together. The ref getting into it with him. Van Hukelum over to Filosa. The Butler coach is really starting to go off on the ref. They could let him hear it.
Tempers are starting on the Butler sideline. Almost the polar opposite of the Duke sideline the entire game. Very interesting to see how these two programs operate from the top down.
Filosa, the first one's off.
For Butler, but that free throw might be the dagger, pushing the lead now to
Caldwell being trapped. 25 seconds remain. Wellington up top. They need to get a shot off. They can't just hold it. Doesn't matter what shot. They fouled, and Amelie Van Hukelum, and she'll head to the line for 2.
Foul called on the floor there, but because Butler's in the bonus, that she's still going to the line. Seconds remain, 14-point lead separating the Dukes from the Bobcats of Butler Catholic Prep. Lead remains 14 as the free throw is unable to be knocked down.
It's going to be hard for Butler to get back into this 18 seconds. They have showed fight to a Dukes team that will advance to the championship and take on the Wabanzi Valley team that's been really balling out too. So looks to be a highly anticipated matchup, and that's going to be a heck of a game where you can join myself and Choi on the call for that game. And that the clock will run out. This will wrap up Butler's time. Actually, that's not true. They will play a third place game tomorrow, but this will wrap up the regular play in this tournament, and now it comes down to championships as the teams will shake hands, and this one will conclude. Your 48-35 is your final from Elmhurst, and thank you for all who tuned in tonight. Go Dukes.